everyone, I'm here to do the tutorial that I talked about in my last video for these little teacher caddies that I made. So we're going to get started making the second one. And what you're going to need is a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. You can use just a single color, you can use double-sided, it doesn't really matter. And then for this size, all you need is this one sheet, and we're going to score it at 4 and 8, and then we're going to turn it, and we're going to score it at 4 and 8 again. And then we are going to take a ruler . So this is what your score marks, I don't know if my camera's going to pick it up, your score marks should look like. You're going to have a grid of 9 squares, and then for each corner square, you're going to go from the middle to the outside, and you can just use your bone folder or stylus, whatever, embossing stylus, and a ruler, and just make a line. And you're going to do this with all 4 corners. And then, after we get these done, I'm going to fold it. So then we're just going to fold all of our score lines. Just like that. Give them a good crease. Okay, so then we have it all folded. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this corner and you're going to fold it in. And that's where that score mark is going to come in handy, so you can crease this. And that's what's going to give you your corner. So when we fold them all up, it's going to look like this. So you're just going to fold them all in. And the last one. Right in there. Then when we bring the centers together, it's going to do that. So in order to be able to put a ribbon through the center, you need a hole punch, a fairly small hole punch. I wouldn't do one much bigger than the 1/8 on the crocodile, or just a regular hole punch. I think a 1/4 of an inch might be too big, but I guess if you're using really thick ribbon, that would be okay. And then I just take it and punch right in the corner. So I'm going to do that to all 4 corners real quick. And then I did not grab eyelets for this one, so I'm going to have to grab some eyelets real quick. But I think I'm going to do those after. I don't know if I'm going to put eyelets on this one because you can't see them on the other one. So, and I'm going to use the same style ribbon, this sheer ribbon, and you can't really see them. So I might skip it this time. Okay, so then what you're going to do is I'm going to flip it over. And this is going to be the bottom and these will be all the sides. And what you do to make all these panels is you're going to take, I think I used, it was less than 1 sheet of cardstock to make all my panels, and then it was less than a whole sheet of 12 by 12 patterned paper also. So the purple mats are going to measure 3 3/4 inch squares because each of these panels, each one of these panels is a 4 by 4. So if you want a border like I have on this one, then I did this one in red is 3 3/4 inch square, and then the pattern paper on top of that is 3.5 by 3.5. So it's just 1/4 inch increments down, depending on how big of a border you want on your panels. And I did the same thing for these striped ones. Now for the striped ones, you just take your, you want to cut out 8 squares that are 3 3/4 inch squares, but for 4 of them, you're going to cut them diagonally in half. And this will give you your panels that go right here on the triangular parts. And the same with the pattern paper. You cut the pattern paper at 3.5, and then you cut it diagonally, and then you just mat it on your cardstock. And I've already done all that just to save some time. So you guys can pause at any time and cut your paper. And I used a textured cardstock. I don't know if you can see that. Just to give it a little more definition, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these. So this needs to be upside down like this. And you need to remember that, I'm going to flip it back over real quick, that when you're closing this, this is the way that your panel is going to be. So when you're got it upside down, you're going to place them almost like they're upside down on your paper, because when you flip it back over and pull it up, it's going to be right side up. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these, and I'm probably going to run out of tape. I didn't even realize that, but I think I have my other gun is full, so I might not have to stop and load. I guess I should have checked that. So then you just center it on there. And I'm just using my ATG tape. You can use your red sticky tape or score tape or whatever you want for a stronger adhesive if you'd like. So it's just whatever preference you have for your adhesive. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Then this one's going to go right here. And I'm going to grab my other gun. Okay, I'm going to finish putting these squares on. And I try to get as close to the edge as I can, just so I know it's going to stick better. And then this one. And this gun's going to start squeaking again. Okay, that one's going to go here. And then this is what we have so far. Now I'm going to put my corners on. And I just use ATG for this also. And it worked perfectly fine on the other one. Yeah, sorry about the squeak. And then this one I just kind of turn and try to center on that triangle there. That's going to drive me crazy. Get that one straight. Okay. And this one's going to go on this side. And when I put mine together, I tried to keep the same two pieces from the square that I cut out, so they would kind of line up. So this is part of this star, and this one's part of that one, and so on. I'm just kind of anal like that, I guess. Right, next one. I don't have a way to pause on my webcam, so otherwise I would just pause this and stick these all down and come back, but if I do that it stops the video and then I have to edit them together, and it takes longer for me to upload it that way. So I'm sorry if you guys are getting annoyed with the speak, but actually this is, after I get these panels on, I won't have to use my ATG gun anymore, so the rest is going to be done with pop dots and score tape. Or if you have the red sticky tape, I suggest that or the score tape to put the bottom piece on, the chipboard piece that I cut out for the bottom, just to make the bottom sturdier, because I am giving these to teachers who I'm hoping will want to display them and use them, so I don't want the bottoms to cave in or get weakened by moving them around. So I chose to cut out a 4x4 piece of, I think it's medium weight chipboard. Okay, so that's what it should look like when you're done with that. And this is the chipboard piece I was talking about, and I just put my stamp on this piece that I have. It's just a homemade just for you by stamp that I got at Hobby Lobby. and then I just sign my name and put the date. And that's going to go right here. The last one I didn't attach until I'd already put the panels together, but I'm going to go ahead and attach this one now because I think it's going to be easier. So, oops. Grab some score tape real quick. And I'm just going to go all the way around the edges. That way I know it's going to stick. And then I'm going to do a few pieces in the center also. Just so I know it's not going to go anywhere. And I think that'll be fine. So I put it all the way around the edge, and then down the middle. And most of my nails all broke off, so I don't have a way to get these to come off. Okay. And then I'm going to put this right on this bottom piece here. See if I can line it up. There we go. And I'm going to flip it over and give it a good rub on this side so I know it's going to stay. Get all my fuzzies out of there. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and do the eyelets. I'm just going to grab some silver ones. I just have these Making Memories silver eyelets. Like I said, I did the other ones, you can't really see them, so I'm just going to go ahead and set these in with my crocodile. I don't want to drop it. If I drop it, I may never find it. It's funny how these things can fall on your floor. And I have carpet in my room, so I have all kinds of little teeny bling that gets stuck in there, and eyelets and brads, little tiny ones, and end up vacuuming them up because I can't find them. Okay, and then bring our middles in. I think I'm going to do something different with this one. And I think what I'm going to, well, let me grab my ribbon. And I'm going to use this sheer purple ribbon that I have. And I get this at my local Dollar Tree. They always have tons of ribbon, and they have this sheer ribbon, and they have satin ribbon, and then they have like a cross grain or grosgrain, I'm not sure what it's called, but I love the sheer stuff. So every time they have new colors, I always tend to buy it. So I'm just going to measure this out about the size of my, no, I don't think I'm going to do the size of my mat. That's kind of big. I would say maybe about 18 inches. And we'll see how that works. I didn't measure the last one, and think I kind of threw away some of it. So I cut this at an angle so I can feed this through the eyelet here, since it is kind of a thicker ribbon. Maybe. And I'm going to hold those two together. And I'll go through this one. And you can tie this with string if you want, and then add ribbon later, or go ahead and do it with the ribbon. You know, it just depends on what you want to do. I haven't really experimented with this part with ribbons and stuff like that yet, so. Then I'm going to pull it together so it's kind of pinched close at the top. And I'm actually going to start by just tying a knot, so that way I know it's not going to come undone. So when I tie my bow, it's definitely not going to come loose, even if the bow comes loose. And I know that this will be okay. So there's my knot. And I'm just going to tie a bow. And it's not going to go as easily as normal because I'm filming. As usual, I know I've heard a lot of you out there say the same thing. When you're on camera, it doesn't seem to flow along like it would as if you're just messing around. I'm not really liking this bow. But I'm going to have to fix it later. So that's the bow. I want it to look more like this one. This one turned out pretty cute on the top. So I'll fix that later and we'll move on. This is what it should look like now. And then, like I said, you can add more ribbons and stuff if you want to the top and, you know, do that however you like. So now what I'm going to do is the easy part. I have already pre-cut all of my cutouts, my die cuts from, oh, what was this? Doodle Charms on my Cricut, and I've pre-applied, just to save time. I don't want this to be a hugely long video. I put all my pop dots on the back, so I can just peel and stick them. So then we're just going to put the bus on. And I always just press down, so that way I know my pop dots are going to stick and stay in place. So there's our bus. And I'm going to look at this one and kind of go in the same order that I did on the other one. And this is my backpack. And again, I did the same backpack. I just altered the colors on the front, and I did the little pillars on this one too. If you guys watched the previous video, you will know what the pillars stand for at our school. There's that, and then the apple. And these I did, yeah, I don't remember what size I did these. I want to say they might have been 2.5 inches, maybe some of them 2. I think it just depended. And then I did 3 layers. I did the base of the apple in green, and then the other layer for this one cuts out the apple and the stem. So then I did the stem in brown and then hit stop. And then I did the apple in red, and then I did the shadow feature on all of these. That way it would stand out a little more. And I think the apple the apple might have been 3 inches. Because I think I tried the 2 and the 2.5 and they were just too small. So my last panel is going to be the teacher's name, and in the video I showed for this one, I think I mentioned that this note card, or index card, whatever you want to call it, was cut at 3.5. It's 3.25 inches. So it's 3.25 inches wide, and it's 3 inches tall, which was the height of the card to begin with. And then I cut her name out using my Don Juan font, and then I used my gypsy to weld together the letters, and then I shadowed them on some black. And again, I pre-pop dotted this, so I can just stick this on here. And I'm just going to try to center it. That looks pretty good. And I'm just going to press all my pop dots. I think I put about 8 pop dots on this one. Little foam squares. And then I also have the teeny tiny little clothespins. These are 1-inch clothespins. And, I got these at Michael's. And I just wrote boys and girls. Again, to represent the little bathroom passes. I'm just going to clip these diagonally so they kind of stick out. So then there's that. And that completes the little teacher caddy. Now you can make these for any occasion. These would be really cute as like a baby shower gift. You could put a bunch of baby stuff in there, which I do plan on doing. Like I said, I do have a teacher that is having a little boy, and there's another helper up there who is having a baby, but I'm not sure. I haven't asked her what she's having yet, so I'm not sure if she knows. So I need to get an idea from her so I know which gender I'm going to do for hers. So that is what the little teacher caddies look like. I can't wait to fill them up. It's going to be so cute. I'm going to read you these bows too. They're driving me crazy. So I do want to show you, I was playing with some sizes, and this is the size for the 12 by 12 sheet. And I thought there's got to be a way to make these smaller. And I had read on, I think it was the website that I got this from, which you'll find the link in the previous video. I think somebody said they used a 6 by 6 sheet. And so what I did is I took a 9 by 9, and this is going to make your panels 3 by 3. So there's this size, let me get that in there. And then I did do a 6 by 6, and it makes your panels 2 by 2. So you could use this small one as like a treat box, I guess, and decorate it. And you don't necessarily have to do the little triangular panels inside here. You can leave those plain and just do the outsides, which would be really cute for the treat boxes. And so there's some other sizes you can do. If you do a 9 by 9 square, you're going to score it at 3 and 6, turn 3 and 6. And then do your corners the same way I showed you how to do the corners on this one. And then for the 6 by 6, you're going to do 2 and 4, turn it 2 and 4. And then the same thing with the corners for that one. So there's some other sizes that you guys can work with. That concludes my tutorial for the little teacher gifts that I made. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you try it, and I will see you next time. Bye!